I wish someone had told me these things that I'm gonna tell you, because it's sad that our dreams are often devaluated into the society because maybe they don't represent the normal way of doing things. I don't mean that my way is the right way of doing things, no, but I really want to bring people that want to start to travel and their dreams up and stop pushing them down. Be realistic, or like, you should be more grateful. Gratefulness is amazing, but it doesn't make people happier. They're not happy in their own space. My name is Sarah, by the way. I talk about nomadic life and travel, and I hope to inspire you with this video to go for your dreams and find a place around the world to call home. Why I decided to leave was the constant unfulfillment. I still remember the first day of my apprenticeship. I remember that I thought, after this, I'm not gonna spend another day in an office. I just can't think that people do this type of life forever. I mean, there are people that like to do, again, I'm sure of it, but I wasn't that person. And it's sad because you think that there is something wrong with you. You think that you are not grateful about what you have because you have a safe job, you earn good money, you live in a very safe country with all the luxuries that you can have, but still, there is something missing. The second reason that triggers me to leave my country was that between the ages 14 and 24, I struggled a lot with addiction, with violence, with bad behavior, mindset problem, and this really were bringing me down, of course. I was conscious in my head somewhere that wasn't the type of life that I didn't want, that wasn't the behavior that I wanted to have, that wasn't the type of mindset that I wanted. I was just looking at social media and like, there are people outside that they can do something more in their life, like, why I cannot? Why am I stuck in this life? I know that I really need a big change, but I was also very conscious that big change will never happen in the circumstances and place I was. Lacking of opportunities was also a big thing. So where I came from in Switzerland is a region called Ticino. Ticino is the only region where the first language is Italian, so I grew up as Italian speaker. Ticino is very small. It was very hard for me, as a lot of other people, a lot of young, to find a job. And of course, I know that I can find a job if I want to, but I swear I was in all this situation and I didn't find a job. It was very, very hard. The fourth reason why I decided to leave was my mindset, because let's be clear, I take full responsibility. I had a horrible mindset. I was always the victim. I was always complaining for everything. It was always the fault of someone else. I 100% want to say that I take full responsibility about the person I was. With those responsibility also came the reason why I knew that I have to make something to be that person anymore. But when you're stuck in that type of mindset, it's hard to get out. You can start to try to change, but it's not immediate. Maybe you can have a magical breakthrough and do that, but it's not like this. It took me 10 years. I always thought that I have anxiety because someone else did something to me, and if something good is meant to be, it will come to me. But honestly, that's bullshit. If something is meant to you, I don't think it will just appear randomly. You have to put the work. With the lack of opportunity and end up in jobs that I didn't particularly like, I also felt so underrated. And at that time, I was actually starting to understand that I really wanted to quit everything and start to travel, but I didn't know how to. So I was telling people, and they were like, that's just a dream, And I was like, no, I'm gonna prove you wrong. When I decided to quit my job for a very important reason, that is gonna be the next reason, my boss, when I gave him the closing of the contract, he told me, Sarah, I'm sure that in 6 months you were gonna be back here crying because you need a job. No, bro, it's not gonna happen. That sentence really made me think, why do I even have to stay here? Like, I don't want to be surrounded by people that don't believe me. But again, you see, I wasn't sure myself that I was capable of. So I had to show myself that I was capable of going out of my comfort zone and be freaking scared of it. Next reason is what changed the game. FOMO. Fear of missing out was what completely changed the game, makes me go to a breakthrough, and I was like, I'm gonna change my life. I went to Berlin to attend the SafetyWing festival. I saved a lot for that event. So I decided to fly a couple of days before when my friends arrived and just spend a few days in a hostel. In those 2 days I met so many people from all around the world, and it was just awesome. It was a type of new experience that I was there. I was really starting to feel there is something about this. It's just so cool. A couple of days after my friend arrived, and I was super pumped, I was like, oh, this is such a great start of the holiday. And basically the festival was got cancelled, and they didn't refund our ticket. They just didn't start the festival at all. So we have to find a place in Berlin. Everything wasn't working smoothly. We were spending a lot of money because of the situation. Then the day to fly back home arrived, and I was like, oh, finally. But our flight got cancelled. Thankfully, the company at the flight arranged a place for us to stay, so we stayed in the place. And the day after, we would have to take the flight back to Milan. The day after, they cancelled it again, but there was another flight that they booked for us, which was Berlin, Amsterdam, and Milan. We took the flight, Berlin, Amsterdam, and in the moment we landed in Amsterdam, I received a message from the airline company saying that your flight Amsterdam, Milan got cancelled. I was like, wait, what? I decided to book a flight at a point just with my money, so I went to the counter, I wanted to pay by card, I get the card, my card got blocked, and I just get stuck with 100 euros. Called my mom, I asked her if she can send money on Western Union, and I want to go to pick it up in the central city. I take the cab. I went to the Western Union, I made to send the money, and they said, no, you can't pick them up because you don't have your passport. And I'm like, but I'm Swiss, I've always traveled in Europe without my passport. I was just like, no, because a couple of months ago the rule changed, and now if you're Swiss you have to have your passport. I literally had my money there and I wasn't able to take them, so I started just to cry at the point. I was so tired, and I took the cab back to the airport, and I had to pay the cab 90 euros, so I was left with only 10 euros. At the end of the day, basically what happened is just my mom was able, thanks mom, to book me a flight back to Milan that day, and at the end the airline refunded the flight. The point of the story is that I worked a lot for those 2 weeks that I basically threw away. I came back to work and I was more tired than before, with less money than before. That was the breaking point, because at the end of that month I give my resignation letter, and I was like, I'm just gonna take a one-way ticket to fly away somewhere. I used that momentum to just book a ticket, figure out what I have to do to get out, make it work, and just leave. I knew that since I was living in a very bad space, I wanted to have a situation that would just like things. I decided to start to travel in India, which wasn't really the easiest country to travel to. In fact, I regretted the moment that I put my feet there. But it was really a shake and be like, look around you. This is another reality about what you grow up with in Switzerland. In that moment, I realized that I was so grateful for the life I have back home. But I also realized that I would have never understand that if I didn't went there to travel around. And still today, even though I'm grateful for Switzerland and I love my country, I know that's what makes me happy. Is travel around, visit country, move to a place, check if I like it, enjoy my life there, then move to another one. This doesn't mean that this is the best life ever. Not at all. There are so many different types of lifestyles. Everybody has their own. We should always live up to our value, being aligned about what we want. And the best things that can happen to us are the worst things. In order really to trigger ourselves to go out of our comfort zone and change our life. I wanted to share with you this, guys, because to me it's so important. People follow the dream. I've been in very bad place, and I know what does it mean. I know that if you're there right now, everything that seems without the meaning, and it's not worth it. I know, but I really believe that that's the trigger. That's the momentum you have to take. You have to not like that enough to take the chance to step out of the comfort zone. Sometimes the worst situations are the best, and you just have to change perspective and choose to use them to your own advantages. Bye, guys.